Starting back with Umineko, we start off with quite sad music.
ウリュ
Sakutaro.
マリア返事して
Last episode, Angie brutally murdered Sakutaro, and I felt a little bit sad for him.
ウリュやっぱり僕はぬいぐるみなの？布と綿でできてるから喋れるわけないの？だからマリアとはおしゃべりできないの？
Sakutaro looked up at Maria sadly. Maria's face was covered with tears, and it looked like as though it had even lost all traces of sadness.
聞こえてるよ、サクタロ。サクタロは布と綿でできたぬいぐるみなんかじゃないよ。マリアのお友達だよ。
What I was thinking about after analyzing Maria's situation even further, it's not that I'm criticizing Maria, the 9-year-old Maria. I'm more criticizing the witch of origins Maria that Angie conjured.
変じゃなんか嫌い。
I'm just very saddened at Maria's situation.
ウリュ、マリアごめんね。マリアごめんね。ウリュ。
Sakutaro regretted doing that. There's no easy fix to her situation, I know that. By freezing her heart, Maria had finally been able to escape from her sadness. By speaking up and calling her back, he caused her to be overwhelmed with sadness again. Oh, Sakutaro tried hugging Maria, letting go of her, and gazing at her uneasily, lost as how he could bring Maria's spirits up. It might look like a little humorous doing that. In the end, that was enough to distract Maria from her sadness.
ごめんね。もう泣いても仕方ないもんね。
Yeah, this episode is very heavy.
エンジェとは喧嘩しちゃったけど、マリアにはまだたくさん友達がいるよ。僕だけじゃない。みんなもいるよ。サクスケも、サク吉も、動物の音楽隊も、他にも。
Maria looked at the many stuffed animals around her pillow, which were gathered together as though they were having an idle chat.
みんな、マリアのこと心配してるよ。どうしたらマリアが元気になってくれるかなって、ずっと相談しているよ。みんなは、エンジェみたいにいなくならない？
I mean...
ならないよ。僕たちはいつだって一緒だよ。本当にサクタロたちは家でしか一緒じゃないよ。ママと一緒にお出かけできないし、学校にも一緒に行けないよ。
Oh God.
僕たちは学校に行っちゃいけないから、先生に見つかったら怒られちゃうもん。
What happened to Sakutaro after Maria died? It wasn't in Angie's possession. Or was it? I don't remember.
でも、見つからないならいつだって一緒にいていいんだよ。サクタロウ、
Maybe it was thrown
大
out.
きいから見つかっちゃうね。
Oh,
だったら小さくて持ち歩ける子と一緒に行けばいいよ。例えば、ほら、森の音楽隊の仲間たちなら、ほら、小さいからマリアのポケットに隠れて一緒に学校に行けるよ。音楽隊いっぱいいるよ。ポケットに入りきらないよ。
She collected all the forest band pieces that were scattered across her bed. There were about as many of them as pieces in a chest set, so it's probably impossible to fit them all in her pocket.
なら、特に仲良しのお友達だけを連れて行くといいよ。森の音楽隊の中で一番マリアと仲良しのウサギの4人組を連れてくといいよ。4つならポケットに入る。これなら見つからないね。だから、マリアはこれで学校でも一人ぼっちじゃないよ。僕が一緒に行けないところでも、 この子たちなら一緒にいてくれるよ。
Happiness is built up.
なら寂しくないかも。お家に帰ってくるまで我慢できるかも。ママと先生にさえ見つからなければ僕たちはいつだって一緒にいられるんだよ。そしていつまでも一緒にいよう。
The fact that that's a situation makes me very sad.
僕たちはマリアを絶対に一人ぼっちになんかさせないから。
If they find out there, she's gonna get punished. And it's probably gonna happen. Maria's expression finally regained a little of its brightness. That's right. In the beginning, Maria's world didn't have Angie in it. Even without Angie, it was fun with everyone. Yet, strangely enough, it suddenly became sad without Angie, who had come in at the end. It's because Angie is more... All that's happened is that I've returned to the world right before Angie entered it. So, there's nothing sad to be about. There's nothing to be sad about.
寂しくないよ。サクタロもみんなも一緒だもん。ウリュウ、マリア大好き。
Oh, I'm sorry.
もう人間なんかに、マリアの世界には誰も立ち入ら。マリアージュ・ソルシエールはマリアとベアトリーチェだけの二人きりの同盟。もともとベアともエンジェを加えるのには反対してたし。
Oh my god, I'm so...
これでいいんだもんね。エンジェはまだ幼すぎたんだよ。
I'm not happy with...
もう人間なんかにマリアの世界には誰も立ち入らせないよ。マリアージュ・ソルシエールはマリアとベアトリーチェだけの二人きりの同盟。
I'm very angry at Beatrice for the moment.
エンジェのことはまた仲良しになれるまで当分を忘れていていいと思うよ。
Do you know why that Beatrice didn't allow Angie to join in? It's because it's easier to control just one person, to manipulate just one kid. If there's two kids, it becomes very hard. It becomes even harder because the other kid can just pull the other kid out of it. And that's the problem here. I really don't like Beatrice just manipulating Maria. Just
それまで僕たちみんながずっとそばにいるからね。
just making her very deluded, and in the future she dies because of it and thinks that she's going to go to the imaginary golden land as a reward for believing in Beatrice all along. But we already know that Beatrice doesn't keep her promises. And then
ありがとうサクタロ、みんな。
Of course she can't keep promises. Beatrice is a human. Then Maria once again regained her former world. She regained the world that wasn't lonely, where she was surrounded by many friends. Just like usual, she didn't have any human friends at school, but her magic friends were always with her. The rabbit band that she hid in her pockets talked with her during class, sounding like they were having fun. Just listening to that greatly embellished the time she spent in class. Maria made it so that as long as Mama and the teacher didn't find out, her other friends could always be with her. When Mama told Maria to go outside, to go play outside, Maria would secretly pack Sakutaro and Saksuke and the rest into her bag and play together at the library or somewhere. Even when Mama was late coming home and Maria went shopping for dinner, she always went for Sakutaro. The men at the convenience store and the other people were nice to Sakutaro. He He sometimes gave a second portion free for Maria and Sakutaro. When Mama found out, Maria would get in trouble for bringing Sakutaro and the rest outside. When the teacher found out, Maria would get in trouble for bringing toys to school. The toxin must be strong in Mama and the teacher. That's why Sakutaro looks like a normal stuffed animal to them. After all, the convenience store man and the others say hello to Sakutaro. Not all humans are hopeless. There are tons of people who, unlike Angie and Mama and teacher, can say hello to magic friends like I can. They're just going along with what you want. They think it's cute that you're speaking ventriloquism through Sakutaro. I mean, it's fine, but it's fine to go along with it, but still.
でも、サクタロたちも一緒だから寂
She's
し
getting
く
the
ない
wrong
の。ね
impression.
え、サクタロ。ウリュウ。今日はね、僕だけじゃないんだよ。他のお友達も一緒なんだよ。
おや、他のお友達かい。今日はどんなお友達が一緒なんだい。
今日はね、森の音楽隊のウサギさんたちも一緒。ほら、ポケットに入ってるの。
Oh man, Maria began to line up 4 ceramic rabbit dolls on the register. Okay, that's very nice. As the owner of the shop looked at it, smiling, he sent a signal to a part-time with his chin. Then, a sign to the other registers that said closed was taken down, and a voice called out for everyone to move over there. All the people in line behind Maria lined up behind that one. Oh.
そうかそうか。マリアちゃんにはお友達がいっぱいだね。ママも早く帰ってきてくれればいいのに。
ママはまたお仕事が忙しくて会社にお泊まりなの。最近はよく忙しくなるの。マリアと電話でお話しする時間も全然取れない。でも寂しくないよ。マリアにはサクタロたちがいるもん。ね。
I think that she doesn't want to see her daughter out of guilt and frustration
ウサギ
and
の音
anger.
楽隊のみんなも一緒だもん。キューキュー。
ウサギの鳴き声ってキューキューだったっけ。はて、そういや聞いたことないな。
It was smiling at Sakutaro, who was poking his head out of her knapsack. She played around with the rabbit bands on the register, making them frolic around. Although the shop manager gazed at it this pleasantly, he had a slightly pitying look on his face. This was apparently a single mother's household, where the mother had to work hard and couldn't come home very often. On top of that, it looked like this girl didn't even have friends. As he watched her play around happily with her dolls and claimed that she wasn't lonely despite everything, he couldn't help but feel a kind of compassion. And actually, this wasn't limited to him alone. Maria had become quite famous in this shopping district.
マリアちゃん、たまにはおでんも食べなさい。卵とか練り物とか食べないと大きくなれないよ。
おお、クリームパンじゃダメ？ウリュウ、いろいろ食べないと大きくなれないよ。今日はおでんにしよう。おー、じゃあおでんにする。
You know what's crazy? It's that Angie, despite being a child and a very shitty friend to Maria, Angie could have been a way out.
そうしなさい。
Normally,
おじさんが多めに入れておくよ。
she's her cousin, so maybe Angie could have talked to her parents, maybe.
か
I
ら
don't
し
know.
いる？
It's hard because even her parents know about it and don't do anything.
ウリュウ。
Rudolph and Kire, they just leave it alone.
辛いのは苦手。
そうか
Even
そうか。
Battler tries, but still, he doesn't do much
じ
to
ゃ
solve
あ
the
こぼさない
situation.
ように持って帰りな。温かいうちが美味しいよ。
ありがとう。
She had planned on getting some sweet pastries for dinner, but since Odin had been recommended to her, she would be having that tonight instead. And Battler's way of resolving things wouldn't work either because he wants Rosa to apologize instead of actually solving the problem. Letting someone else determine the menu makes for an unexpected and interesting meal. Very often, Maria had to decide what her dinner would be on her own, so it was easy for the menus to get a little one-sided. So it felt fun to have a meal she hadn't anticipated.
ウリュウ、おじさん、おまけしてくれてありがとう。
お家にいる他のお友達にもよろしくね。
There's no easy
途
solution
中でつま
for
み食いしちゃダメだよ。
Maria's situation.
まっすぐお家へ帰ってから食べるんだよ。
The safest plan would be to get her away from her mother, but still,
おじさん、
it's very complicated. Maria raised the bag with the Odin container high. She has no dad, and possibly her dad is not the greatest guy either.
あれ、ウリュどうしたのマリア。ポケットに鍵がない。
Oh no. Oh no. Standing in front of the door to her house, Maria searched all over her body. Oh man, this is one of my fears. The key to the house wasn't there. She always methodically put it in the same pocket. So there was no way that she had put it in another pocket. She searched her whole body just in case. Unsurprisingly, it wasn't there.
お財布を出した時に落とした？お財布を出してしまう時にはちゃんと手応えがあったもん。途中でポケットを探った時にもちゃんと手応えがあった。途中まではあったの。落としてなんかいない。
Oh, she's getting anxious. Even though the late autumn wind had been bearable when Maria was thinking of returning home, what the heater was. Now that she was confused and had lost her key, the wind tormented her. She's gonna have to call her mom. But no matter how hard she searched, she couldn't find her key. She turned all her pockets and even tried taking off her jacket and hitting it, but to no avail. Of course, she also turned the knapsack Sakutaro was in upside down, but the key didn't come out. Oh my god. This is very anxiety-inducing. Something that should have been there wasn't there where it was supposed to be. Oh, why isn't the key there when I didn't do anything wrong? Ugh. Why isn't it? Why? Why? Maria was cold and frustrated and angry, and she stamped on the ground. The bottom of her feet throbbed, but that didn't lessen her frustration. At the same time, her tears poured out. Oh. It wasn't her fault, so it was someone else's fault. But Maria didn't know who that someone was, and could nothing but continue to let out a moan of anger.
ウリュウ、きっと途中で落としたんだよ。探そう。来た道を戻って探そう。せっかくおでん買ったのに、卵とかおまけしてもらったのに、あったかいうちに食べられない。マリア、悔しいけど探そう。誰も悪くないよ。探そう。
Maria finally lent an ear to Sakutaro's words and began to trot back down the road she had come on. The wind was colder than before, and felt like it was blowing in through the corners of her jacket in a mean way.
ウリュウ、しっかり足元を見て探そう。そして早くお家に帰って暖房で温まりながらおでんを食べよう。きっと美味しいよ。ない。ない。
As Sakutaro encouraged her, Maria searched for the key. But she made it all the way back to the convenience store where she bought the Odin. She hadn't found it. Just in case, she asked the man at the convenience store whether they had found a dropped key. They haven't found anything. One more time, she returned home, paying close attention to the area around her feet. But unsurprisingly, she didn't find it. She was no longer frustrated enough to stomp her feet. But hot tears slipped down her face. The Odin had cooled down completely. Though she had been told it would be delicious when warm, she hadn't been able to eat it, even though that man had given her so much free stuff.
ウリは泣かないで。ママは今夜帰ってこないんだよ。頑張って探そう。なんで見つからないの？マリア、泣かないで。頑張って探そう。マリア。
Maria was no longer able to hold back her tears. Sobbing, she clutched Sakutaro and held the bag of Odin, returning once more down the road she had come by. Perhaps because in more and more houses and stores had turned their lights off by now, it was even darker and harder to search than before. And once again, without finding the key, she returned to the convenience store.
マリアちゃん、鍵まだ見つからないのかい？
Ooh, this is getting...
鍵ない。
お母さん、今日は泊まりだっけ？
Oh my god!
鍵ないとお家入れないの？
入れない。
そりゃ困ったね。交番には行ってみた。届いてるかもしれないよ。
Oh no! Oh god!
ママがおまわりさんに話しかけられてもお話ししちゃダメって言った。
Oh, this is gonna... Mammon said not to talk to the police. What? What the f... Oh my god.
そりゃまたどうして？
God, Rosa, what's wrong with you? It's probably because Rosa would be liable for making such a young girl like Maria watch over the house by herself. Couldn't you just get a nanny? Oh my... And because she knew that this wasn't something that would be permitted by society. I guess it's a pride thing. So Maria was indoctrinated into changing the stores she bought things at, so that she didn't catch the eyes of adults, and into saying no more than a greeting to policemen, even if they talked to her. Maria had obediently done as she was told. This is gonna only worsen the situation with Rosa. Oh god. Instead of considering why she must do that, she was much more concerned with meekly obeying, because her mother had told her so. The manager of the convenience store probably didn't think of it that way. In the first place, seeing such a young girl being forced to watch over the house alone and so frequently would make anyone worry. And then, after making the round trip between her home and the store once more, and arriving at the convenience store for a third time, the policeman was there. Oh god.
あの子です。マリアちゃん、鍵見つかったかい？
Is...
見つからない。
お嬢ちゃん、お名前は？
Policeman asked her name, but Maria didn't answer.
お母さんにおまわりさんとお話ししちゃいけないって言われてるの？大丈夫だよ。おじさんは怖くないよ。お嬢ちゃんは晩ご飯は食べた？
だけど、お家に入れないから食べられない。
お母さんはどうしてるの？今日は帰ってこないの？お仕事？お母さんの会社の連絡先、わかるかな？
Maria hung her head limply. She didn't understand why the policeman was getting mad at her. Oh god. No, he probably wasn't getting mad at her, but if this reached her mother's ears, then she would definitely be in trouble. Even Maria knows it. Oh no. Even if she didn't understand the reason why would she be in trouble, she at least understood that much. The policeman wouldn't let Maria go, and her head was swimming from hunger. The policeman noticed that, and it was and it was decided that he'd listen to her story as they ate in the police box. Maria was taken to the police box. She had her oden heated in a microwave oven, and even salty rice cakes and hot tea were brought out for her. She had been told not to talk to policemen. But after being asked about Sakutaro, she responded and started to feel like this wasn't a bad person. And anyway, she wouldn't be able to return home now, so she didn't know what to do. She told him Mama's work phone number, which she had been told to tell no one of, and to use only in a very, very serious situation. At the tummy room inside the police box, as she ate the oden that was so hot, felt like it would burn her. She watched the policeman making the phone call, lazily thinking, I'm probably gonna get into trouble.
マリア、ママに怒られるかな?
Oh god. This is what I'm talking about, walking eggshells around the person.
ウリュウ。
Just so you could be happy with that person. You need to walk all the eggshells and not hit a single one. He must have been listening to the phone ringing for a very long time. The receiver up to his ear. The policeman looked up at the clock,
営
grumbling.
業時間終えちゃってるから出ないのかな。もしもし、もしもし、有限会社アンチローザさんで。
Man, look at the name of
こちら小松川警察署千本桜駅前交番でございます。
Auntie Rosa.
う大館じゃないや、後宮社長さんはいらっしゃいますか？はい。休暇中？
Why? Oh god, again.
社長は昨日から3日間休暇になってます。どういったご用件で？
いや。
I need some water. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
それでどちらにおられるかわかりますかね？連絡先とか聞いてたりしませんかね？
ちょっとお待ちいただいてよろしいですか？ねえ、誰か社長の旅行先聞いてる？連絡先。
And she's lying to her daughter.
彼氏と札幌カニ食い放題って聞きました。
Boyfriend. Oh my god. Sapporo. That's so far away. That's like in the north. Oh god damn. That's a very long trip.
いいなあ。寒いとこだと自然と2人の距離も縮まるのよね。連絡先は聞いてないよ。了解。
I'm emotionally destroyed in this fucking chapter, in this episode, man. I'm sorry. I'm so emotionally destroyed. I'm just drained.
連絡先まではちょっとわかりません。ご伝言しますか？
Oh god.
そうですか。参ったな。じゃあ、もし連絡がつきましたら、こちらから電話があったとお伝えできますか？はい。
Vacation with her boyfriend, and you couldn't even leave a nanny to watch over your daughter. Is this like a feedback loop? Is this after that? I was taken to the police department, which was even bigger, and ended up spending the night there. I think that this is a feedback loop. She gave Sakutaro to Maria. Now Maria doesn't complain anymore in the lonely nights because she has Sakutaro. Now Rosa can keep her can work continuously on the nights, and now that Maria is fine with being alone, she can go out and find a boyfriend and go on vacations because she knows that her daughter won't get lonely and won't complain. I'm so mad. After then they asked me various things about myself. Is she gonna get prosecuted? a lady who called herself the district welfare officer came by and asked about a lot of things. Is that why she also needs the money? Just not the co-signing thing, but also not only the consigning thing, but also maybe a settlement or maybe something else concerning her daughter. I was told, you poor thing. And I heard that. I learned for the first time.
マリアってかわいそうだったの？ウリュウ、そんなことないよ。マリアは幸せ。
Because I kind of treat the Witch of Origins Maria and the flashback Maria as different. Oh God. Oh, I'm sighing a lot today. Then Rosa came back. Maria was told to go to her room. On her way back from the bathroom, she hid by the entrance to the living room and listened on the exchange. Oh, is she gonna get prosecuted or something? The person who had come to visit was the female district welfare officer, who had asked Maria various questions on that other day. Oh God damn. This is gonna only make the situation even worse. Because
マリアは心が純粋すぎて繊細だから無神経な子がいたら傷つけられてしまうんです。余計なおせっかいはやめてください。
Because on Arkanshima, she still has guardianship over Maria.
でもね、お母さん、そんなに繊細な子ならなんで一人で家に放置しておくの？お母さんが一緒にいてあげるべきなんじゃないですか？
なるべく一緒にいるようにしています。そんなことあなたに指図される覚えはありません。
そうですか？この辺のご近所ではとても有名ですよ。お宅のお嬢さんが夜頻繁に買い物や食事に来るってみんな気にしてて気を使ってくれてたんですよ。
どうしてうちの子だとわかるんですか？子供なんて街中にいくらでもいるじゃないですか。勝手にうちのマリアだと決めつけないでください。
Rosa will never agree to anything.
夜に出歩く子供だってたまにはいるでしょう。それらが全てうちの子だという証拠でもあるんですか？
She's just gonna bully the officers out, I think.
ライオンのぬいぐるみを抱いた女の子がよく夕食を食べに来る、買いに来るって商店街でもとても有名だったんですよ。みんなマリアちゃんのことを思って大切にしてくれてました。時には夜道は危ないからと自宅まで送ってくれる方もいたんですよ。
ライオンのぬいぐるみなんてどこにでもあります。自宅まで送るなんて余計なお世話です。
She knows.
マリアを誘拐するつもり？マリアに構わないで。マリアは私の子です。私が育ててます。おかしな施設に入れるつもりもまるでありません。余計なおせっかいはやめて。
ウリュウ、ライオンのぬいぐるみって僕のこと？大丈夫だよ。怒られるのはマリアだよ。サクタロは関係ないよ。
Maria hugged Sakutaro, continued to watch her mother fearfully.
私もマリアと毎日一緒にいられたらと思います。でもシングルマザーですから働かなくちゃならない。私はこう見えても会社の社長ですから社員の生活も背負っている。一年中仕事で忙しいんですよ。休む暇だってないんです。
そう？でもこの3日間お休みだったんでしょ？
休みなんかじゃありません。私はずっと会社で泊まりがけで仕事をしていました。他の頼りない社員では片付けられない案件が私には山積みなんです。
どうしてそんな嘘つくの？あなたの会社の人が3日間お休みを取ってますって言ってるのよ。彼氏さんと北海道に行ってきたんでしょ？娘さんを3日間も置いて。
彼氏なんて知りません。北海道なんて知りません。どうしてそんなデタラメ言うの？どうしてなんか証拠でもあるの？何よあんた、勝手に人の家のことに口を出さないでよ。
Yeah, she's just gonna bully her way out of this.
私はマリアを愛してるのよ。
She's not gonna relent.
私
She's
には
not
私
gonna
なりの愛
accept
し
any
方があるの
faults.
よ。勝手に口出さないでよ。私 私は旅行になんて行ってないわよ。仕事してたのよ、ずっと。マリアに1秒でも早く会いたくて、仕事を少しでも早く片付けようと一生懸命会社に泊まり込んで、ずっと知らない、北海道なんて知らないわよ。勝手なこと言わないで。もう帰ってよ。何なのよ、あんたは。帰って
I need to see that
知
again.
らない、北海道なんて知らないわよ。勝手なこと言わないで。もう帰ってよ。何なのよ、あんたは。帰って。
Oh my god, her voice. Rosa raged, her hair flying wildly. A teacup was knocked over from the force of her standing up. But far louder than that was the sound of her beating the table with both hands. But faced with this rage that could accurately be described as a wide-eyed derangement, the district welfare officer couldn't help but be taken aback. And the same went for Maria, who was secretly watching this from the hallway. Is this the start? She had already seen her mother in a rage several times before this. She had never seen her this crazed with anger. When she saw this, Maria was sure it was no longer her mother. This was the bad witch. It was some other evil being that was possessing her mother's body. And then she herself was discovered by the evil being. Oh, I'm so just tired and I'm already. It is just started and I'm already. Maria knew that she was being reflected in the evil being's eyes. Her mind went blank and she felt as though her field of vision was racing off into the distance. After fiercely closing in on Maria, Rosa mercilessly slapped her on her small shoulders and dropped her gaze down towards the stuffed animal Maria was holding, Sakutaro.
Maria.
Oh, oh God.
あなた、あれだけお外にそれを持って行っちゃダメって言ったのに、持って行ったのね。
Oh God, her voice.
マリアは悪くないよ。僕がついていくって言ったの。違うよ。マリアが寂しいから勝手にサクタロを連れてったの。だからママ、サクタロは悪くないの。ウリュウ、マリア。サクタロは悪くないよ。サクタロは悪くないよ。
Instead of Maria, the brunt of Rosa's anger was aimed at the stuffed animal Maria was holding. Girl went shop in the middle of the night, always clutching a lion's stuffed animal. Oh God. Maria doesn't have it on Rokkenjima, does she? Oh God. Because of that, she had become well known in the shopping center.
ぬいぐるみ持ってっちゃダメって言ったでしょ。どう
She's
して？
gonna throw in the trash? Oh God.
あんたはママの言うことが聞けないのよ。
Is Rosa just going to throw Sakutaro in the trash? Hope not.
どうしてよ。どうしてママの言いつけがちゃんと守れないのよ、あんたは。
Oh God, her voice. With every single word, she stamped on her heel and banged furiously on the wall. Of course, she didn't make direct contact with Maria. However, the violence of the harsh sound certainly beat against her.
お母さん、おやめなさい。
話してよ。話せって言ってんでしょ。
Oh my God. She's abusing her daughter right in front of the welfare officer. The district welfare officer had come back to her senses and was spitting Rosa, arms behind her back. The instant Rosa was touched, she went wild, furiously throwing the welfare officer off. She hit the table and fell to the ground. The teacup on the table smashed on the floor, making a violent sound.
マリアは悪くないよ。僕が悪いの。だからマリアを叱らないで。サクタロを連れてったのはマリア。サクタロは悪くないの。サクタロは悪くないの。だからサクタロをそんな怖い目で見ないで。見ないで。マリアを叱らないで。マリアを叱らないで。
This is only making it worse because she's doing ventriloquism for Sakutaro.
あんた
Oh
さっ
god.
きから何をやってるの？あんた
Oh
その
god.
お人形さんごっこ外でもやってたの？お店の人の前でもやってたの？だから覚えられちゃうんでしょ？少しは考えろこのバカ！なんであんたはそう大バカなのよ！
Oh my god. Oh, no, she didn't say that.
正直におっしゃいな。お外でお買い物をするとき、ママに内緒でいつもそのぬいぐるみを持ち歩いてたのね。
ウリュウ。
その変なぬいぐるみ語をやめなさい。ぬいぐるみじゃなく、あなたの言葉で喋りなさい。
Oh god.
サクタロはぬいぐるみじゃないよ。マリアの友達だよ。ぬいぐるみって言わないで。言わないで。
はいはい、わかったわ。サク太郎だったわね、名前。ママに内緒でそのサク太郎人形を持っていつもお買い物に行っていたのね。
Maria didn't admit it, honestly. If she hadn't admitted it, then Sakutaro would have said something to take the blame. So by admitting it right away, she was protecting her small friends.
サク太郎だけ？他には？まさか学校にも何か変なのを持って行ってるんじゃないでしょうね。
God, she loves her pride. She loves her. She doesn't want to be embarrassed, I think.
お嬢さんは悪くないでしょう。その質問をやめなさい。
あんたは黙ってなさい。
Oof.
私と娘の話でしょ。
Doesn't
ほら
matter.
マリア、ママの目を見て話をしなさい。ママの質問にお返事は？
サク太郎だけじゃないの。ウサギのみんなも一緒。
Why
今も持っ
isn't
てるの？
the welfare officer calling the police? Do they? Oh. Maria fished around in her pockets, pulling out 4 ceramic rabbits with her tiny hands. The rabbits were her close friends who could be together with her at school and Sakutaro's place. I get it. I played Higurashi. I saw the anime. I know that welfare officers don't do anything in Rikishi's works. I know. But when Rosa saw that, she shook her head slightly as though dizzy. On a school notice, it had been written that Maria was apparently bringing toys to school and playing with them. And her family was instructed to try and prevent this. Oh. But Rosa had rejected that, blaming the teacher and phoning in a protest of her own to the school, saying that there was no way her child would bring toys to the school. For nearly an hour, she had shouted at the vice principal to stop making false accusations about her daughter. She's a Karen. Okay, I'm sorry. To a certain degree, those at the school had grasped that Maria was a pitiful girl. They knew that the small toys she had brought in were her only friends. So they had done their best to overlook it. And when the other students caught sight of them, some of the boys had started complaining that only she could bring toys, and that the school had racked their brains on how to cope with this. They had tried to gently send a warning by the way of the mother. But after Rosa's overreaction, even Maria's teacher decided to overlook it. Now Rosa knew she had been the one who was wrong, and her daughter had been bringing toys to school. And those at the school had known that she was a disgrace who brought toys to the school and played with them as though they were her only friends. To Rosa, who thought her daughter was just a little different from normal children, having this peculiar side of her daughter exposed and found fault with was, more than anything else, something she couldn't bear. So she howled, she raged. A district welfare officer tried to cut between Rosa and Maria again. She only met with Rosa's wrath once more. Rosa once again threw the woman off with a face like a demon. And when even that failed to curb her anger, she stomped on the ground over and over again so forcefully that it seemed that she might break through the floor. Then, after seeming to come back to her senses for a second, she immediately froze her harsh breathing and asked Maria,
Maria, そのウサギの音楽隊はマリアの大切なお友達？そう、4人もお友達がいてよかったわ。
Oh God. And she said that Rosa grabbed one of the rabbits from Maria's hands, the winds. Then she shoved it in front of Maria's eyes so she could see it very well. Oh God, no, don't do it. Oh God. The cute rabbit holding a trumpet was a small doll, like a chess piece. She slowly lifted it into the air. It's made of ceramic, isn't it? Or... Of course, Maria and Sakutaro's eyes also followed as... Oh... Oh, man. And then, with a speed that the eye couldn't follow, she smashed it against the wall. She had half imagined that this worst possible thing might happen, instantly realizing what had been done. So Maria let out a short, despairing scream. It was in pieces. It had been small and sturdy, but it hadn't been enough to withstand it more than her mother's fierce rage.
ママの言うことをちゃんと
Oh my
聞かないから
God.
一つ壊れちゃったわ。
Her face. God, Rosa, you're so insane. You're just completely... Oh, man.
今後ママの言うことを守らないたびにまた一つ壊すからね。
Oh, God.
覚えておきなさい。
あなた、そんなことするなんて母親ですか？そんなことしてお嬢さんが傷つかないと思ってるんですか？
マリアが傷つく。私も傷ついているのよ。私の傷は誰が責任取ってくれるのよ。
Oh. This line... Rosa is just a culmination of every bad trait from an abuser.
誰が？あんたは黙っててって言ってるでしょ。
やめてママ。悪いのはマリア。おばさんを怒らないで。マリアは悪くないよ。僕が悪いの。マリアを怒らないで。うりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅう。
そのぬいぐるみごっこをやめろって言ったでしょ。大体ね、気持ち悪いのよ。ぬいぐるみがお友達ってあんた今年でいくつよ。何歳よ。こんなの布と綿の気持ち悪い下手くそなぬいぐるみじゃない。こんなのしか友達いないのあんた。こんな化け物のぬいぐるみとお友達ごっこしてる暇があったらちゃんとした人間の友達を作りなさいよ。
Oh my God,
なんで
Rosa's voice
あなた
actress
にはいつ
so
までもお
hot.
友達ができないのよ。そんなんだからいつまでもクラスで変わり者扱いされてバカにされて、もうほんとしっかりしていい加減にして。こんなぬいぐるみ遊びもう卒業しちゃってよ。
うりゅうりゅう。
だから そのぬいぐるみごっこをやめろって言ってるでしょ。
Oh. She beating him against the wall. Maria grabbed hold of Sakutaro's head and took him from me. Mama grabbed hold of Sakutaro's head and took him from me. Then she smashed him against the wall over and over.
やめろっつってんのよ。
She's even ventriloquist. She's even.
そのぬいぐるみごっこをやめろっつってんでしょ。こんなぬいぐるみがあるから。だからあんたはいつまでも友達を作らないのよ。だから一人だけクラスで浮いてておかしな子扱いされるんでしょうが。こんなぬいぐるみあげなきゃよかった。こんな気持ち悪いぬいぐるみあげなきゃよかった。
Oh my.
サクタロ返して、サクタロ返してサクタロはマリアのお友達なの、親友なの。サクタロさえいれば他には何もいらない。だから返して。
It's too heavy.
返して。
For some reason, my frantic request just added oil to the fire of Mama's anger. Mama pushed my arm aside as I tried to grab Sakutaro and snatch him back. And in a bizarre way, she struck her fingernails on both hands deep into Sakutaro, twisting him. Oh god. The red muffler, which I had carefully wrapped for him every day, came off and fell to the floor. Sakutaro, who had been so precious to me, was twisted, smashed, torn with a fingernail so much. He was twisted in pain, his face curving in sadness. And Mama's fingernails found a stitch on the neck and tore it. With the fingernail on both hands, she tore it apart. Oh no. She isn't going to throw it in the trash, she's just gonna rip it apart. In an instant, Sakutaro's yellow cloth and the cotton inside burst apart. Almost looked like moist cotton candy. So it didn't. So Angie killing him wasn't enough. Rosa had to kill him as well.
マリア、サクタロ、リュウタロ。
Crumbled yellow cloth and the cotton candy flowing out were thrust right in front of my eyes. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional. Through Mama's face, the evil being stated it clearly.
サクタロウは死んでしまいました。
Just the witches Maba Nabamskia Sakutaro Sakutaro snapped. Sakutaro Sakutaro.
マリア、泣くんでない。
And now here comes the manipulator in all her glory.
サクタロウは良き友人であった。そなたがそれを忘れぬ限り、
God,
常
Maria
にそなたと共にある。
just has the worst influences in her life. First Rosa, now fucking Beatrice.
だから泣くんでない。
生き返らせて。ベアとはいろんな魔法が使えるんだもんね。サクタロだ
Nope.
それは
Another broken promise.
無論作太郎がわらわの家具だったなら、そ
Just
れも
bring
た
out
や
the
すい。
excuses.
しかし作太郎はそなたの家具だ。わらわにそれは難しい。
Just bring out the excuses, Shannon. It's not.
難しいってことは無理じゃないんだよね。生き返らせて、無限の魔法で生き返らせて。
実はな、作太郎のよりしろはローザの手作りのぬいぐるみであったろ。そのローザが作太郎を否定した。
Maybe
母にその生を許されなかった命は存在できぬのだ。
Beatrice's words were feeble and excusing herself, excusing that she can't do it, because she knew that no matter what the excuse, it wouldn't be enough to call Maria and make her accept it. She had to communicate the painful truth to her disciple and close friends, in quotation marks, right? She had to tell her the fact, and even with all her power, even if she could not revive Sakutaro.
そなたが作太郎の存在を強く信じる限り、その魂が消え去ることはない。
Bring more
だから
excuses.
マリ
I'm just getting angrier and angrier at you.
ア、今もほら、すぐそこで作太郎が微笑んでいると信じるのだ。
作太郎を生き返らせてくれなきゃ。やだ。
All Beatrice's flaws are being shown.
諦めよ。作太郎を蘇らせる魔法はない。そしてそれでもなお作太郎がそなたの親友であり続けることを強く信じよ。
Do it like Angie. She can imagine a whole 7 sisters with only one stake.
その力が魔法となる。
そんなの魔法じゃない。魔法じゃない。作太郎が生き返らなきゃ。
The fact that she's wearing the dress that she went to Rokkenjima means that she's in the island asking Shannon, and Shannon can't bring Sakutaro back because she doesn't have the stuffed body, right? To go behind the bushes and just do a little sewing to bring him back to life with a sewing machine or a knitting machine or something else, or a knitting skill. Because she doesn't have the stuffed toy.
ママの手作りだからダメなの。どうしてママは作太郎を作ったの。
I feel so angry.
マリアにプレゼントするためじゃないの。マリアのお友達にするためじゃないの。なのになんでママは自分で作って自分で壊したの。どうしてママは自分で産んで自分で壊そうとするの。
Because she values her pride and she doesn't want to be embarrassed, and she doesn't, and by
わかんないわかんない。ママが憎いよ。ママが憎い。悔しい悔しい悲しい悲しい。作太郎がそうされたようにママをねじり上げてやりたい。
gosh, I fucking
爪を立てて引き裂いて布地と綿にしてやりたい。
oh god, yep, her life imploded. Her life imploded. Now
悔しいよ悔しいよベアトリーチェ。
they're happy until they're not.
作太郎。
Told you guys this was gonna happen. From the darkness behind Maria's back, 2 massive jet black arms crept out. Twisting around Maria, she sobbed in anger. with massive fingernails stuck into Maria's chest and stomach. Maria could not see that, but Beato could. Anger and sadness without any place to go will tear you apart. Beato knew that. She could see that. Yes, in the end, those massive arms were Maria's own. I told you guys! Those fingernails slowly started to eat into her chest and stomach. With their immense size and strength, those arms could probably tear Maria into bits easily. Maria herself couldn't notice. Drowned in a sea of her own tears, she couldn't notice that her own arms were trying to tear apart her own chest.
悔しいサクタロがどうしても生き返らせられないならマリアは復讐したい。ママを同じ目に遭わせてやりたい。サクタロと同じ目に遭わせてやりたいの。ベアトリーチェ、そのための魔法を教えて。ママをやっつける魔法を教えて。
その言葉は本心。
ママを殺してやる。あれはママじゃないよ。ママに取り付いた悪い魔女だ。ママの魔女を殺してやる。
Okay. Okay, the right choice here is to not teach her anything. Because she seeks revenge, then it's all over. Come on. Say no. Please say no.
よかろう。
I'm so mad.
その力をそなたに与えよう。心美しきそなたに自らに引き裂かれるくらいなら、そなたにその苦しみを与えた心なき母こそよほど引き裂かれるに値する。
Of course, Shannon. Of course. Of course you.
魔女の世界に光さすことなき深淵の奥底。
Great work, Beatrice. You're teaching a 9-year-old to kill her own mother. Great fucking work.
みんな嫌い大嫌い。ママも嫌い。エルジュも嫌い。みんな大嫌い。
Oh god. Oh man. Great fucking work, Beatrice. You're just worsening the situation even further. Just teach a 9-year-old how to kill her own mother. And then watch as Rosa had planned on taking a nap, but the boat really was shaking bad. I gave up on sleeping and went onto the deck. There I was welcomed by the shining sun and a strong sea breeze. Amaxa had been doing some stretches on the deck. He must have had a lot of time on his hands too. After all, it'll be several more hours before we reach Nijima. It will only have taken a couple dozen minutes by airplane, but there was a chance that the Nijima airport was under the Sumadera family's web. The harbor would probably be the same. For that reason, I have obtained a boat that would let me land while avoiding the harbor, no questions asked. I'd bump into a cheery boat captain. Treated him generously. He had decided to help me out, amused.
まだだいぶかかるの？
さっき船長に聞いたら、あと2時間はたっぷりかかるそうです。ま、贅沢は言えねえですな。
いいお天気ね。焼けちゃいそう。
甲板で読書ですか？本が傷みますよ。
Max apparently thought this because I was clutching Maria's Onechan's diary under my arm. I had been reading it half asleep, which was why I would come back still clutching it.
どうですか？マリアさんの日記から六軒島の真相は探れそうですかい？
さあ、あの島で何があったかなんてどこまで調べても仮説でしかない。メッセージボトルもお姉ちゃんの日記も
魔女が闊歩するおとぎ話が記されているだけで、何も真実を語らない。
This is a change of place, a change of mood. Now they have
お手上げよ。
新島での関係者
no
か
more
らの
about the
聞き込みに
mystery.
期待するしかないですね。
ビッチハンターどもが散々質問攻めにしてるでしょうから、きっと真事実なんて見つからないわよ。
そこまで期待してないのに半日も船旅をして新島に行こうなんて実に気まぐれなことです。
調べたっていう自己満足のための旅みたいなものよ。本気で12年前の真実が解き明かせるなんて、私も甘えてるつもりはないわ。
その自己満足が終わったらどうするつもりで？
さあ、考えてないわ。新島に行って関係者に話を聞いて、最後に六軒島に行って花でも捧げたら、私の旅はおしまいね。
Several days had already passed since this journey began. I'm noticing death flags for Angie. To being told by Bern Castell on the roof of that building to search for the truth of 12 years ago. I left on a journey like trying to grasp a cloud. At the time, I felt as though I experienced something mystical. I had the feeling that I might be able to grasp some kind of miracle at the end of this journey. But after several days passed, my excitement died down. On that day, when I stood on the roof of that skyscraper, my heart was completely cornered and dead. So I wanted from the bottom of my heart to be released from the cage of my body and rise into the sky, and had crossed the fence in order to die. Maybe experiencing the desire to die and actually stepping forwards, throwing my body down, caused some kind of mystical experience inside my head, making me think I had received a message from a witch. The excitement from my jump lessened over time. The more I came back to my senses, the more this journey lost its meaning. But I didn't even consider suspending this journey just because of that. If I stopped this journey, it'll mean acknowledging that the message from that witch was an illusion. And I felt as though I meant throwing away the promise the witch made, any chance that someone from my family might come back. So, because it was hard to believe that those events were an illusion, I continued on my journey. I don't seriously believe that this journey will change anything. It's even up to me when to end this journey. It's up to me to choose where the final destination is. In the end, this journey is only for my self-satisfaction. And that's fine. That's completely fine.
自己満足か。聞こえは悪いですが、そいつが実は人生ってやつではないかと思ってます。
傭兵家業で視線をくぐった末に至った答えだったなら、なかなか味わい深いじゃない。
茶化さんでください。俺が言いたいのは、自己も何も自分を認められるのは世の中で自分だけしかいないってことです。
Maxa is saying what I'm saying better than Amaxa continued stretching as he spoke, in an irritatingly fresh way. Hearing it told to me as though from a teacher, maybe instinctively want to resist, but what he was saying was extremely sensible.
そうかもね。人は誰かに認められたくて努力をするわ。多くの場合、それは親ね。親に褒められたくて子供は努力を覚える。だから私は覚えなかったわけだけど。
すんません。そういうつもりで言ったんじゃないです。俺が言いたいのは、自己満足大いに結構ってことなんです。誰に褒められたって、それを納得できなきゃ意味がない。逆を返しゃ、誰に褒められなくったって、自分が納得できりゃそれでいいってことです。
自己満足と向上心って矛盾するから、普通は悪いことって教えられるわよね。天草の論法はなんだか新鮮よ。
誰かに認めてほしくて、だけれど何を努力すればいいのかわからないのが人の世の苦しみです。俺にもそういう頃があった。誰かに認められたくて、でも何を認められればいいかわからなくて、そして 何をどこまで努力すれば誰に認めてもらえるかわからなくて、随分と無茶苦茶をやってきたもんです。
それで天草が至った答えが自己満足だっていうの？
聞こえは悪いがそういうことです。我ただ樽を知るってやつですわ。俺がこれでいいと思った人生なら、それはとやかく言われてどうこうってもんじゃない。エンジェさんの人生もこの旅も同じです。エンジェさん以外の誰にもとやかく言う権利なんてない。旅の意味と成果はエンジェさんだけが決める。エンジェさんにとって有意義な旅になったなら、それで十分なんですよ。
あんたってチャラけてる男だと思ってたけど、たまに変なこと言い出すのね。そういうことたまに言うとモテると思ってるでしょ。
まさかまさか、そんなつもりで言ったんじゃありません。どうやらお一人になりたいようだ。俺は船長のところへ行っていますぜ。どうぞごゆっくり。
Max apparently decided I was in a bad mood, though I didn't feel that way myself. Or he might have finished a set of stretches and wanted to cool off in the shade. The sea winds were strong, but not enough to cool the rays of the sun. Max had disappeared. Only I remained.
自己満足こそが人生か。
そんなのつまらないです。人生はどこまでも強欲でなくっちゃ。
I noticed that Mammon had suddenly appeared, her abundant hair fluttering over by the prow of the ship.
強欲な人生は確かに楽しいわ。でもあなたと違って人間には寿命がある。永遠に強欲のままだったなら、人は死ぬ最後の瞬間にも欲があることになる。欲があるということはつまり欲しいということ、持っていないということ、満たされていないということ。自分が満たされていると思えないまま死ぬのはきっと辛いことよ。だからきっと自己満足って必要なんだわ。
なるほど。寿命ある存在にはそういう妥協点も必要ってことですか。私たちの主はやたらと寿命の長いお方ばかりだったんで考えたこともなかったです。
人間ってのは満たされるために生きてるのかしら。だとしたら無欲が一番人生に優しいことになるわ。なるほど。7つの大罪の一つが強欲になるのも納得ね。
お褒めに預かり光栄です。
Apparently that counted as a compliment in Mammon's eyes. She turned and gave a graceful bow.
エンジ様、人間は死の瞬間に満足であるために生きてるんですか？
死の瞬間に何かが満たされていないのはきっと辛いんじゃない？
だとしたら人間は満足な死を迎えるためだけに生きてるわけですね。より良い死のために生きてる。死ぬために生きてる。
This kid's saying something pretty incredible. And the flags are only increasing. I see, as I'd expect from a demon's stake. However, it might be the truth. Humans suffer because they are unsatisfied and live only to find satisfaction. In other words, that might be the same as the desire to die satisfied.
言い返せないわ。人は満たされるために生きてる。そして満たされたまま死にたいと願ってる。だからその満たされ方がわからないのはとても辛いことだわ。
どうやれば満たされるんです？人間の人生は。
認めてもらうことよ。お前は幸せだってね。
誰が認めてもいいものでしたら私が認めてあげますよ。
そうよ。そこなのよ。誰に認めてもらえばいいのかわからないのよ。
その認めてくれる人を探すのが人生の旅なんですか。へえ。
おかしな話ね。認めてもらおうと認めてもらわなかろうと自分の境遇に変化はないはずにもかかわらず、認められれば満たされ、認められないから満たされない。まるで青い鳥だわ。カゴの中にもう青い鳥はいるのに、それに気づけないからどこまでも探しに旅立たなければならない。
何ですかそれ。
I'm sorry, I need to pause just for a minute. Okay, I'm back.
人間の人生ってバカですね。
そうね。天草は本当にいいことを言ったわ。我ただ樽を知るか。何のことわざか知らないけど味わい深いわ。つまるところ 誰かに認めてもらわなければ満ち足りないとは、すなわち自らを認められないということ。究極の自己実現はまず自分を自分で認めることだったのよ。
そりゃそうです。自分が満ち足りてるって自覚できるなら誰にも認めてもらう必要なんかないですから。その小さなことに気づくだけで人間のくだらない人生の旅は簡単に終了ですね。残った時間を有意義に遊んで過ごせます。人間の人生ってバカバカしい。
Mammon's choice of words was bad, but it was surely the truth. Most of a human's life is a journey with the hopes that someone will acknowledge them, so that they can achieve a satisfied death. And when they realize that the person doing the acknowledging isn't someone else, but they themselves, that pointless journey can end. Humans who have ended that journey can probably spend the rest of their lives as they wish, with their heads held high. How noble, how praiseworthy would that be?
天草ってさ、親とはかなり仲が悪いらしいのよ。そりゃそうよね。まっとうな親なら足を洗わせたいと願うような商売だもの。
別にいいんじゃない？本人が楽しいなら。
まったくよね。結局はそういうことなのよ。他人が観測した自分の評価なんかどうでもいいこと。自分の存在を自分自身がしっかり認められたならそれで十分なのよ。自分に自信を持って生きられるならどんな生活だって受け入れて納得できるに違いない。天草はきっといつか戦場で流れ弾を食らって大怪我をするでしょうよ。あるいは死ぬことさえあるかもしれない。でも天草はそれを理不尽とは思わないと思う。それも人生と。あいつはケラケラ笑ってるような気がするの。
Oh, that's in your face.
いい生き様じゃない。惚れるわ。
自分で自分を認められない哀れな人間は生涯それを求めてさまよい、何も受け入れられず不平不満だけを口にし満たされないまま死んでいく。哀れだわ。何の目的もなくダラダラと生きてる連中に比べたらやがてのたれ死にするかもしれないけれど、自分の人生に胸を張っている天草の方がよっぽど高潔なのよ。
人生悟ったものの勝ちってことじゃない？少しでも早く悟れればその分有効に残りの人生が過ごせてお得よね。
With Mammon's words, I finally accepted a certain fact. In the past, I've called that girl unusual, a little strange. However, that wasn't the truth. All she did was keep her head held high and finish that journey faster than anyone else.
だからマリアお姉ちゃんはすごかったのかもしれない。彼女は小学校低学年になるかならないかという年齢のうちにそれに至ったのよ。
For people like us, looking at her life from the outside, it wasn't something we called blessed. But even though days like that were engraved in her diary, they always finished up by saying that it was a happy day. Even though the part of her mother that didn't love her daughter came and went, she believed that her mother loved her. The mother's love didn't exist. She created herself, filling her world with love. Others might observe her as an unsatisfied, pitiful girl, but she herself acknowledged that she was satisfied, and so she was very happy that way. It's easy to observe that as something pitiable and sad, but to her that was an outsider's opinion, so it didn't matter. Whether or not it was happy for her was the only important thing. It's just like how when people who live in the city point out to the lifestyle of those in rural areas and mourn their inconveniences and feel sympathy for them, it's really none of their business. If those who live there are satisfied with what they have, that's more than enough.
私ようやく気づいたわ。今気づいた。マリアお姉ちゃんにひどいことをしたのよ。あの日にあなたたちにもサク太郎にも。魔法があるかないか、それを決めるのは他人じゃないわ。 自分よ。マリアお姉ちゃんにとって魔法があるかないかはマリアお姉ちゃんが決めるべき問題で、私が決めることじゃない。なのに私は幼いあの日口にしてしまった。魔法なんてあるわけないって。彼女を傷つけてしまった。
The fact that magic doesn't exist in my eyes matters in my world. Denying it, even in Onecha's world, for that reason, was totally misguided.
マリアージュ・ソルシエルはマリアお姉ちゃんの作った魔女同盟。私はそれに誘われて一緒に魔女になろうと言われたの。新しい面白い遊びだと思って私はしばらくの間それに付き合ったわ。でも幼さゆえの残酷さ、途中で飽きてしまった。そして鋭利な言葉で彼女の純粋無垢な心を切り裂いてしまったの。あの時大喧嘩をしたはず。私はすぐに忘れてしまったけれど彼女には忘れられないものだった。なぜなら彼女にとって魔法は確かに存在する自然な力で、それは私とも共有できると信じていたから。マリアお姉ちゃんにとって魔法は世界を幸福に解釈できる、
That's a crying
全てを幸福にできる、まさに魔法の力だった。それを私にもお裾分けしたかっただけ。その気持ちを幼い私が引き裂いた。だから彼女は誰とも魔法は分かり合えないと殻の中に閉じこもってしまったのよ。
だとしたらマリア卿もやはり人生の旅は終わってないわけね。自分に納得できてるなら園児様に否定されたくらいでへこむ必要なんてないわけだし。
お姉ちゃんは幼かった。天草みたいな達観にはまだ至ってなかったのよ。はあ、だからこそわかるわ。マリアージュ・ソルシエルという魔女同盟がなぜ必要なのか。
An alliance where each acknowledges that the other is a witch.
そうよ。それが確かマリアージュ・ソルシエルの取り決めの第一条だった気がする。同盟の魔女は互いを魔女と認め尊敬し合うことって、それこそが魔女同盟の一番の、そして唯一の意味なのよ。
Maria and Nature wanted to share with me the secret laws to make the world happy called magic. But I was young, and she was too. I hurt her with innocent cruelty.
私はあの日に言ったわ。暴言をあなたたちやサク太郎に存在するわけがないって。
失礼しちゃうわ。私たちが存在するって自らを認めてる。魂が寝ぼけてる人間どもとはわけが違うのよ。我を思うゆえに我あり。魔法を認めようと否定しようと、私たち煉獄の七姉妹という魔法が存在することはゆえに事実。園児様の言葉を借りるなら、私たちが自らをそう認めている限り。
それを他者である私が否定するのはまさに暴力だわ。それはきっと実の母にお前なんか生まれてこなければよかったと、いいえ消えてしまえと怒鳴りつけられるくらいにね。
Even after being slammed by all those words, Maria Nich's magic made her believe in her mother's love. Sakutaro, her magic friend, always encouraged her. He kept saying that her mother loved her, that she was coming home late because of her work, that she would definitely bring back a present. Even after Maria learned that her mother's work wasn't really the cause, magic allowed her to continue believing. And by believing that her mother loved her, by acknowledging herself, she filled her world with love and peace and serenity, establishing it completely.
12年前に何があったのか、私の家族がどうなったのか、それを探る旅じゃなかったのよ。
ならこの旅は何なの？
マリアお姉ちゃんにあの日のことを謝る旅だったのよ。どうしてかわからないけどそう思うの。あの日彼女を傷つけなければ12年前の事件は起こらなかったんじゃないかって、そう思うの。
Ooh, I have no basis for it. I don't have any clue how hurting the nation could have connected with that mysterious incident several years later. For some reason, I can't imagine there's no connection. A witch caused that incident, and the culprit is the Golden Witch Beatrice. And Beatrice was part of the Mariage Sorcière alliance of witches. I horribly hurt the other witch of that alliance. I hurt her with the thought that magic doesn't exist. So, several years later, a crime caused by a witch occurred, and a 2-day period that couldn't be explained with anything but magic was thrust in my face thanks to the message bottle.
きっと私は無関係じゃないのよ。わからない。偶然かもしれないし、運命かもしれない。なぜかこの旅で私はそう思うようになったわ。
根拠は？
ないわ。勝手にそう思ってるだけ。
日本人って面白いわね。被害者であっても自分に非があったように感じて勝手に謝り出す。家族を奪ったベアトリーチ様憎しって言うなら理解もできるけど、勝手に非を感じて謝りたくなってくるなんて本当に変わってるわ。
Yeah.
もちろんベアトリーチェは憎いわよ。その気持ちがなければこの旅は続かないわ。でも旅にもう一つ目的を見出してもいい。12年前の魔女に復讐する旅にさらに昔の罪を謝罪する目的を加えたっていいんだわ。六軒島に行ってあの日の暴言を詫び花を手向けることくらいはできる。いえ、花よりもっといいものがあるわ。そしてその方がお姉ちゃんにはふさわしいと思う。
I stood up, not minding that the sea breeze scattered my hair and concentrated my mind. I lifted my palm up to the height of my head and imagined a vast space.
エンジェ様？
静かに。さあさあ、おいでなさい。我こそは魔女見習い、エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。破門にされてはしまったけれど、かつて同じ同盟に所属し、私と遊んでくれた懐かしき家具よ。我が呼びかけに応じよ。
It was hard to tell in the middle of the day, but a faint blue light gathered around the palm of my hands. Then, Sakutaro's form was revived. It really did bring back memories, that figure. His cute ears, his bright red muffler came off easily, so Onechan faithfully rewrapped it all the time, didn't she?
サクタロ、わかる？私たちが。おりょマモン、エンジェ。
With a sleepy face as though waking up for a long slumber, Sakutaro looked around him as he spoke.
お久しぶりね、サクタロ。あなたを私の力で呼び出すのはきっとこれが初めてだわ。そして今や私にしか呼び出せない。
Maria's dead. Those words might have been a bit cruel. Sakutaro's face clouded over.
かつての私はあなたを否定した。その私があなたを呼び出したということは、あなたの存在を私が認めたということ。
いいの？僕はエンジェの世界に呼び出されてもいいの？
His eyes were a bit frightened. It was only natural. I, who had played with him like a friend before, had suddenly denied him and tried to burn him with the magic-resistant toxin. It was only natural that he was scared.
謝るわ、あの日のこと、マモンにも、そしてみんなにも。
Oh, at some point, the rest of the seven sisters had gathered on the deck. No, they were always there, always by my side. As long as I acknowledge that it's okay for them to be there, they'll always appear. Okay, this is a very good squad shot.
あなたたちは確かに存在するわ。ルシファーも、レビアタンも、サタンも、ベルフェゴールも、マモンも、ベルゼブブも、アスモデウスも、そしてサクタローも。
よろしいのですか？エンジェ様はベアトリーチェ様に挑もうというお方。魔女を否定される立場にあられるお方が我らを認めてもよろしいのですか？
私の世界にとって魔法が存在するかどうかは悪いけど保留させてもらうわ。私自身が魔法の存在を認めたわけじゃない。
なのに我らを認めるという矛盾はどういうことです？
魔法は信じる人には存在するってことよ。私が信じなくても
誰かが信じたなら、その人の世界には魔法が存在するわ。それは私が魔法を信じたって信じなくたって何の干渉も受けない。いいえ、受けてはいけないのよ。その誰かは胸を張って自らの魔法を信じればいいのよ。そして私はそれを認める。だからあなたたちが存在しても全然おかしくはないのよ。
なかなかの詭弁ですが、面白い解釈かと。エンジェ様のそれは悪魔の証明そのものでしょう。
悪魔の証明？
だって悪魔の存在を証明するには悪魔を連れてくればいいけれど、悪魔の存在を否定することだけは不可能だからそして私たちはここにいる。つまりそれはエンジェ様が魔法を信じようと信じまいと私たちの存在は揺るがないということ。無流、エンジから半魔法の毒が消えていく。本当だわ。魔法を否定する立場なのにどうして？
それは多分尊重し認めるという心を知ったからだわ。今の私にならマリアお姉ちゃんの、そしてベアトリーチェの魔法の深淵も理解できるかもしれない。
In the past, I didn't believe in things like magic. Thinking something like that couldn't exist, I acted like I was closing my eyes tightly and couldn't see anything. But now I'm different. I get the feeling that I can look like a thing called magic and close in on its true nature.
惜しいわ。この現代にこれだけ半魔法の毒素の抜けた人間なんて本当に稀よ。魔女に向いた稀有な才能なのに。そうね、今のエンジェ様が魔女を目指してくださったならベアトリーチェ様に及ぶかもしれない大魔女に成長されたかもしれないのに。それでも我らの存在を認めてくださった我らの主である。おそらくエンジェ様が我らの最後の主となるだろう。最後の奉公と思い尽力しようではないか。
なのにエンジェ様自身がまだ魔法を信じてくれないのが納得いかない。エンジェ様、ついでに魔法も認めてくださいよ。せっかくの主なのに魔女じゃないなんてなんだかもったいない。最高の魔女になれる逸材なのにその目的が魔女を撃つことだなんて惜しいです。まあそれもエンジェ様の人生で生き方でそうと決めた世界ならばそれは私たちにとやかく口出しできることではないわけですが。
私を理解してくれてありがとう。そうね、魔法が私にとって存在するかどうか、それは私が決めることだわ。世界のどこかに魔法が実在したとしてもしなかったとしても。
When I think about it, this world is so vast and yet so small. Billions of people live on the earth, but I probably won't meet even 1% of those people. Even so, I will speak of a world, my world, which doesn't know even the 1% of the world.
私が知らない世界の法則を私に否定する資格なんてない。だから私の世界に魔法が存在しないからといって私の知らない世界に魔法が存在することまでを否定することはできない。まさに悪魔の証明というわけだわ。いえ、業に入りては業に従えと言うべきかしら。
I can be confident in the world I know. So even if that's denied by a complete stranger who doesn't know a thing about my world, there's nothing to worry about. And in the same way, I've got no right to deny a world I don't know, just because I don't know about it.
だから私は自分の世界に魔法があるかないかを問わずにマリアお姉ちゃんが教えてくれた魔法を否定することなんてできやしない。
無理だって見たことがなくても魔法は存在するんだもん。
ええ、だからすでに言っている通り魔女同盟マリアージュ・ソルシエルの友人であるあなたたちの存在もまた私にもそして誰にも否定することなんてできないわけ。
I proclaim that most important part again. Even though the sea breeze and the crashing of the waves are noisy, is a time of silence. Both Sakutaro and the Seven Sisters of Purgatory reflect upon my words. Probably I did too. Does magic exist? Do witches exist? While ignoring that the answer would be for my own world, I acknowledged their existence. That contradiction was what I proclaimed so boldly.
ありがとう、エンジェ。
そこまでお認めになったなら魔女もお認めになって。いえ、愚問でした。その問いに対する答えをすでにエンジェ様は明確にお持ちだ。
ごめんね。魔女がこの世界のどこかにいるかもしれないことを私は認めるけれど、でも私の世界は揺るがない。
魔女も魔法も認めない六軒島の真実は必ず暴いてみせるでしょ。
ええ、それが私の世界よ。仮に本当に魔女が存在したとしても私の世界では認めないわ。当の魔女にどれだけ言い寄られたとしてもね。
エンジェ様のお立場は魔女を討つこと、そしてそのお気持ちにいささかの揺らぎもないこと、よくわかりました。我らはエンジェ様の家具、煉獄の七姉妹、いつでもおそばにお役に立てる日が来るのをいつまでもお待ち申し上げております。
エンジェ様が魔法を信じてくれない以上、話し相手くらいにしかなれないけれど、
今は十分よ。私たちに存在できる余地を残してくださった。それだけで私たちはエンジェ様に感謝し認めるべきだわ。
This is very good.
つまり私たちはまたみんなといられるんだね。
Would you?
サクタロー
Of course, lust.
させて
When Sakutaro was overcome with emotions and tears came to his eyes, the seven sisters closed in and mobbed him. They were also celebrating a long-missed reunion. If their existence is permitted, they're definitely capable of existing here. Well, even if I don't permit it, they can exist. Because I acknowledge them, they showed their reunion's joy to me as well. As I watched over that scene, I reflect over what this journey of mine meant.
これでみんなには許してもらえたかしら。
十分ですよ。私たちは家具、呼び出してもらえるだけで、おそばにいることを許されるだけで嬉しいのですから。ウリュウ、エンジェ、本当にありがとう。
そういえばどうして私にはサク太郎が呼び出せたのかしら。いいえ、逆ね。どうしてお姉ちゃんにはサク太郎が呼び出せなかったのかしら。
Maria Nation had despair to think that Sakutaro had died, which meant that she hadn't been able to summon him like this anymore. In the past, Onation said it was more advantageous in summoning to have a vessel. However, a vessel is like a training wheels, and it shouldn't be absolutely necessary. In other words, even if the stuffed animal lion that was Sakutaro's vessel didn't exist, it should have been possible to summon him. No, when you put it like that, it's even a little doubtful whether summoned things can be limited by life and death. Moreover, Sakutaro should have been an especially important friend to Maria Nechan. She should have been able to strive hard to summon him one more time. It's because Beatrice said that it was impossible. That's the problem. Certainly it was sad that the original stuffed animal vessel had been torn apart. But why did he die and become impossible to summon again? Because Beatrice imposed limitations.
マリアがあの時、僕のぬいぐるみが破れたのを見て、僕が死んでしまったと決めてしまったから。
I mean, didn't Angie do the same to the sisters and was able to summon them back?
魔法の存在と同じなんです。マリア教の世界でサク太郎が死んでしまったことになったなら。
Mammon and the others died in Angie's world.
彼女の世界ではサク太郎は存在できない。ウリュウ。
Is what I'm not getting. The shock of having her beloved stuffed animal torn apart left a wound in her heart serious enough to prevent her from summoning her irreplaceable close friend. Even worse, Angie absolutely killed all the sisters in her world. In Maria's and Echen's eyes, Sakutaro had died. So if the Sakutaro can exist like this to me, he cannot exist before her.
僕はいつもマリアと一緒にいたんだよ。
She needs to acknowledge that Sakutaro can be resurrected. But Beatrice comes in and says that's impossible.
泣いてるマリアのすぐ近くで
And then
泣かないでってずっと言ってたんだよ。でもマリアには僕の姿も声も何も届かなくて。
Sakutaro hung his head, looking sad.
マリアージュ・ソルシエルはあの事件の後急に性格を変えていくの。それまでの同盟は和やかなものだった。でも事件後は憎い誰かをいかにして呪うかという物騒なものばかり。お姉ちゃんの日記はあからさまに様変わりしていくの。
Diary is a mirror that reflects one's heart as it is. It probably showed the personality called Maria die, and be reborn as the evil witch personality, Maria. But she buried the diary in hatred and sadness. Her heart surely wasn't satisfied. Because it wasn't satisfied, she had to bury it with hatred and sadness. And while still unsatisfied, she met with death. I wonder if her unsatisfied soul has a hole opened in its chest from sadness even now, and continuously wanders, dripping tears down and calling Sakutaro's name.
あなたがお姉ちゃんには必要なのよ。
ウリュウ。
どうしたらあなたをマリアお姉ちゃんの世界で蘇らせられるの？その方法がわかれば、私はお姉ちゃんを救うことができる。それが私に課せられた贖罪の方法なのよ。どうすればサクタロウは蘇るの？
マリアにとって僕のよりしろは特に重要な意味を持ってたから。
よりしろ、つまりライオンのぬいぐるみを蘇らせることができれば。
でも僕のぬいぐるみはローザママの手作りだから、ローザママにしか作れない。
Rosa Mama. Even inside the diary, Maria Nachan had asked this of Beatrice and was refused for that reason. Magical significance of a stuffed animal being unique and handmade is very large. Then, if we could make the same thing once more, but Rosa is already gone from this world. We can't make the same thing again.
同じぬいぐるみをもう一つ作ってあったとか、そういうことはないの？
彼はマリア教の誕生日プレゼントのために作られた世界でたった一つのぬいぐるみ、手作りでたった一つのよりしろなんです。だから大きな魔力を秘めているんです。
Angie needs to brush up her knitting skills now.
そして失われたらもう二度と手に入らない、蘇らない。ウリュウ。
Knitting and sewing skills now. Because she knew that Maria Nachan watched that stuffed animal, which was unique to the world, and that world get torn apart and despaired, because it was the only one of its kind in the world. She couldn't permit a compromise such as buy another one. She despaired from the bottom of her heart.
でもサクタロウはここにいるわ。よりしろなんかなくてもここにいる。私がそれを認めているから、私の世界では確かに存在する。マリアお姉ちゃんが認めなくてもそれは否定できない。そうよね。
理屈ではそうですが、同じ理屈でマリア教にそれを認めさせることもまた困難かと思います。マリア、僕は死んでないよ。ここにいるのに。ウリュウ。
きっと六軒島でマリアお姉ちゃんに私は再会できると思うの。そして私は何が何でもお姉ちゃんの中のあなたを蘇らせて再会させるわ。
できるの？
難しいでしょうね。魔女同盟に誘われた私が意味を理解できず拒絶してしまったのと同じように、彼女もまたあなたの存在を拒絶するかもしれない。でもやるしかないわ。それが私にできる唯一の罪滅ぼしなのよ。
エンジ様。
六軒島で何が待つのか、そして何が起こるのか、あるいは何も起こらないのかもしれないけれど、全ての始まりであるあの島こそがこの旅の終着点なのよ。私はあなたたちを連れて魔女の家具であるあなたたちの主として魔女の島へ、六軒島へ帰らなければならない。
Ooh. So, even though the rays of the sun had been so strong, at some point clouds had started to hang down. The spray that hit my cheek might not at all have come from crashing waves.
エンジェさん、軽く一雨来そうですぜ。下へ降りた方がいいんじゃないですか？
Maxa called out to me with an expression that said, "Oh, you're still here?" When I looked up, I saw that the island's silhouette had gotten much larger. We might reach land very soon. Remembered, the weather report had mentioned scattered rains. The sky wasn't dark enough for rain clouds. It'll probably be just for a short time. Even though the rain was light enough not to be a pain, having rain start to fall as we approached the island felt like some kind of fate. It was raining on October 4th, 1986 as well. I'm approaching the rocking Jima of that day, and not just in distance. Ooh, I went back down with Amaxa. He was carrying what looked like a really large and heavy golf bag. It was something Amaxa had brought back with him on a day when we'd split up. I didn't inquire as to its contents. It was hard to imagine that there were anything peaceful. Oh, so he's bringing guns.
中身はあえて聞かないけど、重そうね。
どうしてこいつらは重くてかなわないのか。フランス人の教官が面白いことを教えてくれました。何でもこいつらは重くあるべきだそうなんです。何しろ人の命は地球より重いんですから、こいつらはもっと重くて叱るべきなんだとか。
使う機会がないといいわね。
ないといいですな。
Oh man, I'm getting hype. Oh. Amaxa set the golf bag like luggage down beside him. I'm getting very hype. Oof. Is this a two-propeller aircraft touched down on the runway? Considering the weather, it could have been a pleasant flight. Everything after this flight had been suspended due to weather. Cutting through the drizzle as she traversed the runway, Sumadera Kasumi entered the lobby with two black suits as guards. The four black suits who had been waiting inside the lobby stood up and respectfully lowered their heads in salute.
お疲れ様です。
プロペラ機ってのは揺れるわね。二度と乗りたくないわ。
お車を用意しております。どうぞこちらへ。
They got into two luxury cars that had been rented.
エンジェは六軒島へ向かうはずよ。無人島とは実に都合がいいわね。お道具は用意できてるんでしょうね。
Fuck. Oh, this fucking aunt. The black suit in the passenger seat put a heavy bag that had been set by his feet onto his lap. Opened the catch with a click and showed Kasumi what was inside. Inside were several silver lumps of carefully wrapped aluminum foil. He peeled one open to show her. A black blunt automatic pistol peeked its face out. Oh, things are getting tense. Oh, we're going back to Rokkenjima. Okay. So which characters could have moved? Oh, Lady Maria's pure white heart torn asunder. His broken vessel can only be regenerated by Rosa, the Meister who made him. However, Rosa disposed of all the vessel's scraps and even lost the sewing pattern. On top of this, because his existence was denied by the Meister herself, resurrecting him is impossible. The Meister's death in 1986, his resurrection was lost forever. Resurrecting him is impossible, even for the endless witch, Beatrice. Oh, okay. Sakutaro is in A rank. Maria is tied with Lambda Delta and Battler in the highest rank possible. Angie quickly became my favorite character. Just in one episode, she has already tied with. She's already surpassed Beatrice for me. Beatrice, she's revealing more and more about her, and I'm getting quite angry at her, but still, she's a great character. Even as I'm angry, that doesn't mean that I hate the character. It's just that she's doing many things that make me very mad this time around. Kasumi, she's in B rank. There's nothing much about her. She's just toxic and she's just a plot device, basically. She just wants to catch. She just wants to catch Angie. She's just a foil. She's just a foil and nothing more. There's nothing to her. Maybe she's jealous of Kyrie, but that's it. I think. From her, there's nothing much there. I guess that's it. I guess Amaxa. He's also a trope, basically. There's nothing more to him. He's just a sleazy bodyguard who has a few good words to say. So both are in B rank for that reason. Guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Guess next time we'll see more of Kingzo from the chapter. Thanks for watching.